All right, let's talk measurement conversion. We learned measurement conversion in 6th grade last year. So we're going to do a quick refresh on measurement conversion and go from there. Okay, measurement conversion is what we're talking about. So it says when given a ratio, you are finding the unknown, set up a, well, hopefully you remember, WKU to solve. So what is a WKU? Well, W is words. Words are our most important piece of our WKU because they tell us where to put everything. And then we have our K, our known, and we have our U, our unknown, which is our question. All right, so let's go through a couple of examples. The good news is that in 7th grade, they're less likely to ask you to use your measurement conversion chart, and they're just going to give you the information in the questions like these two examples. All right, example number 1. On average, John eats 200 grams of sugar per day. So 200 grams of sugar per day. That number is by itself. Okay, in the sentence, by itself. So anytime a number is by itself, that's going to be our unknown. Then it says 60 grams is approximately equivalent to 3 ounces. Those two numbers are in the same sentence, so they're going to go in the same fraction. They're going to go in our known section. All right, so let's break it down. We have 3 numbers, and the first number I see is 200 grams. It's important to look at the word afterwards because that tells us what to write in our words section, our W section. So we have 200 grams. Okay, that number is by itself, so it represents our U, our question mark. And then if I keep reading, it says 60 grams. We'll already use that word, right? 60, I'm going to change the color here. 60 grams. And it says is equivalent. Equivalent means equal to 3 ounces. Well, those two numbers are in the same sentence, and so they get to go into the same fraction. So our words were grams and ounces. Again, right here it says 3 ounces. All right, so I keep writing. I need my K, sorry. I need my K. So I gotta find my K. I know my K is going to be the two numbers in that same sentence, remember? So we have 60 grams. 60 goes on top because 60 said grams, and this is grams on top. So 60 has to go on top. And then on bottom, we had 3 what? 3 ounces. So ounces was on bottom, so I put 3 on bottom. Again, those two numbers were together in the same sentence, so they go together in the same fraction. Our last step is our unknown. Our unknown is the number that's by itself. Our U, our question statement. And again, we saw 200 was by itself in the sentence. 200 what? 200 grams. Well, grams is on top, so let's put 200 on top. And then that means we are missing ounces. And from there, it's just cross multiply and divide. So we're going to cross multiply 200 times 3. So 200 times 3. And then we are going to divide by our extra number 60. So remember, we just do those two numbers at a time. 200 times 3 is 600, and 600 divided by 60. Remember, the benefit of stacking it like a fraction is if they're matching zeros, you can cross them out. So now I just have 60 divided by 6. So 60 goes in the house, boots and hat, and 6 stays outside. 6 people can sit in 6 chairs one time. I bring down my 0. 6 people can sit in 0 chairs 0 times. And so that leaves me with 10. 10 ounces is equal to 200 grams. So again, all 3 numbers were in my problem. The number by itself is my U. The 2 numbers together are my K. And we make sure everything matches the words on top and everything matches the words on bottom. And that is how we solve measurement conversion. Let's try one more time. Example 2, Stephanie will be running a 10-kilometer race this spring. First thing I notice is that it says 10 kilometers and it's by itself in the question, so that is going to be my unknown. Then it says 1 mile is approximately 1.6 kilometers. Approximately is the same as equal or equivalent. So those two numbers are together in the same sentence, so they will be my K, what I know. And we can pull our words from those numbers. So again, it doesn't matter what word I start with. I'm going to start with the first one I see, which is kilometer. 10 kilometers. And my next word is miles. 10 kilometers and miles. Again, I get my words just behind the numbers. All right, and so 10 was by itself, so I don't need it yet, but I do need the 1 mile is 1.6 kilometers. Those numbers, again, are together in the same sentence, so they'll go together in the same fraction. So we have how many kilometers? We have 1.6. Again, it says so right here, 1.6. So kilometers here. And then 1 mile. So I'm going to put the 1 down here at the bottom. And again, 1 mile. We need to make sure the words and the numbers match. All right, what was my unknown? My unknown is the number by itself. Well, 10 was by itself. What is 10? 10 is kilometers. So kilometers was on top here, so 10 needs to go on top here. I plug in my 10 and my x, and I cross multiply and divide. All right. 1 times 10. So I have 1 times 10, and then I'm going to divide by 1.6. If you're a Desmos user, you would type that directly into Desmos. If you are not a Desmos user, you're going to do it 2 numbers at a time. So I'm going to box it. 1 times 10 is 10. Cross it out. And then remember, I like to stack my numbers to see if I have any zeros. I don't this time, but I also get to label my cowboy. And this tells me, uh-oh, my horse has a decimal, and I know horses can't have decimals. How do I get rid of it? I move it to the back. I moved it 1 hop to get to the back. So if I move it 1 hop in the cowboy, 1 hop in the horse, I need to move it 1 hop in the cowboy so they match. When I move it 1 hop in the cowboy, I have to add a filler 0. So now my division for this problem will actually be 100 over 16. So I'm going to come do that over here in the corner. 16 goes outside, 100 goes inside, boots hat, donut, donut. Okay? 16 people cannot sit in 1 chair or 10 chairs, but they can sit in 100 chairs, and that's going to be 5 times, maybe 6. 6 times 6 is 36. Yep, 6 times. 6 times 16 is going to be 96. I subtract and have 4 left over. I'll eat a donut. 16 goes into 40. 2 times. 40 minus 32 leaves us 8. I'll bring down another donut. And 16 goes into 80 5 times. So, approximately 6.25, what? 6.25 miles. Remember, miles was on the bottom. 6.25 miles is equivalent to 10 kilometers. And that is your refresher on measurement conversion.